8 crazy inventions that never made it. This?
Many inventions change the face of our world, shaping our practices, customs, and the way we live. But what about those genius gadgets that never became mainstream? We want to take a look at some crazy devices that never made it. Let's shake some dust.
Fucking idiots should have just used TikTok for marketing.
Progress,
Literally nothing can fail then.
To prevent this, several pedestrian safety scoops were designed during the 1920s, often attached to the radiator or the bumpers of the vehicle. When the scoop or the net touched an obstacle, it would automatically drop to the ground and push it away.
It can be fitted to bumpers or take the place of them, and it folds neatly away when it isn't eating pedestrians. A flick of a lever, and the scoop has another mouthful. When the scoop is open, a jaywalker simply can't get run over.
What a great idea!
Baby follows ball out of window, and mother just looks on.
Believe it or not, this article was distributed among the members of the Chelsea Baby Club in London in
This one's pretty
1932
good.
as a solution for families without a garden. Patented in 1922 as a healthy antidote to growing children in crowded cities.
Well, I just
it could
open the
also
window.
double up
Just
as a
like
bed,
open the blinds.
incorporating
Like,
removable
look.
curtains. You might be surprised, but this invention never quite took off, thanks
I
to
can't
those
imagine
very
why.
grounded mothers.
From now on, it's high society and life in a penthouse for her.
That sounds like a
In
great
the early
idea.
1930s, when fascist Italy was suffering from financial sanctions, the country's propaganda publicized its self-sufficiency using their own resources. An Italian chemist, Antonio Ferretti, developed a successful method to make regenerated protein fibers. Lanital was a fabric made from casein, a major component in the making of cheese, for instance. Casein was processed with formaldehyde and metal salts and then pressed through spinnerets to form long silk-like fibers.
Sounds good to me.
Very much like milk. So in future, you'll be able to choose between drinking a glass of milk and wearing one.
I don't know why that didn't work.
During World War I, horses were
But the horses looked pretty fucking cool for a day or
Now,
two.
ladies, but these girls are trying to get their fat down, to put it plainly, and this is how they do it in the States.
For some reason, this one doesn't sound so outdated, does it? That's right. Fitness vibrating belts stayed around till the mid-1970s.
These were pretty
providing
popular,
no
actually.
scientifically proven weight loss to the millions who used it. The principle is quite a logical one. Instead of exercising the muscle yourself, you let the belt vibrate and exercise it for you. Perhaps that's why it's commonly known as the lazy option of fitness. However, several studies show that body vibration does not reduce weight or any type of body fat, unless one
This would do
reduces
really well
calories.
today. Like if you wanted
So
to
the
make a
miracle of
scam,
lose
this
it
would
by
be a
shaking
really good
it
one, I
vanished,
think.
as well as the presence of these belts around gyms. In the early 30s, there was a boom in the exploration of wireless radios. Long before the transistor offered such an option, this radio hat was seen in the streets of Paris in 1931. Following today's notion of don't use it, wear it, applied
Oh,
to
is it still
technology,
being
this
manufactured?
radio hat offered the groundbreaking possibility of carrying music with you when Walkmans were not even a dream.
For the benefit of motorists who haven't got a garage at home, we pay a visit to the home in Hampstead of Colonel Westland Wright for a really original and down-to-earth idea for housing a car. A garage in the front garden that disappears when it's not wanted.
Those lucky enough to have space in front of their house had to choose between having a garden or a garage. But not with these inventions. During the 50s, several solutions tried to break the frustration of having to choose between the two. From foldable instant garages to sophisticated platforms that could hide underground.
That looks pretty cool, if you
Fortunately,
ask me.
nowadays, only Batman and 007 can enjoy the privilege of a hidden garage.
She mustn't be overcooked.
And these were just a few inventions that never made it to our days. Bold, ingenious, ridiculous, you name it. But remember, most useful devices were initially taken for a loony idea.
Thanks to Prime Interweb. Those are some pretty cool inventions that I actually... What an intense outro. What the fuck is this? 30 seconds to Mars here? I already know Travis the Chimp. That's a really sad story all around, to be honest. There's nothing enjoyable there, it's just really sad. Travis the Chimp is the story about the lady who had a pet chimp who was a movie star. It was a trained chimp, she was the handler. And then one day her friend came over and touched his favorite toy. And Travis thought that she was stealing his toy. So Travis went berserk and started ripping her limbs off and started eating her face off, and then the cops had to come and execute him.
For 911, where's your emergency?
This is Sandy. 231 Rock Crimin Road.
What's the
Send
problem?
the police. Send the police.
What's the problem there?
But there's a phone call that the lady made to the police, and she was panicking like Travis is going nuts. Travis, we need help. Travis is killing her because she was watching Travis mutilate the lady, her friend. And then eventually the cops show up. She's already, I believe the chimp even ripped the door off of the car too. It was horrible. It was horrible all around, honestly. I just felt bad for everyone there. And it's really sad because Travis did all of it because he really liked the stuffed animal. It was really fucking upsetting. Kowloon Walled City? What's that? Intrusep. There's a tier 1 Eggy. IRL Ghost in a Shell. This does look a lot like Ghost in a Shell right now. So does this place not exist anymore? No, it doesn't. Hey, that's good news all around then. Looks like a shitty place to live. Obviously. They completely destroyed it. Self-taught dentist sounds pretty reliable. The most dangerous football league. Like, I understand liking a team and like supporting something, but to get so into something you have absolutely no effect on, something that will never, ever, ever even acknowledge your existence, I don't get it. Why commit yourself to something like that? Fucking shocking. Absolutely fucking shocking. The fanaticism. Wild. I mean, it's no different than other things. I'm not just putting it to sports. K-pop stands, Twitch streamer, obsessed people, all of it. I just can't get into that mentality of being so into something that you have absolutely no contribution to. Like, you don't play for the team. You're not the Twitch streamer's father or their friend. You don't know the K-pop band. I don't know why people would base their whole life around it and fucking kill for their favorite team. It's crazy. Imagine dying for your favorite sports team only for them to never know your name or care that you sacrificed yourself just to keep supporting them. Crazy. I think that's enough of that. That's just really fucking sad. The journey for the rarest item in Demon Souls. Oh, was this looking for... I've actually been meaning to watch this. This was looking for the hidden door, right? And what was on the other side?
There is an item. On a body, on a bench, on a balcony, behind a locked door, behind an illusion.
Yeah, this one's cool.
I
haven't seen this
alleyway
like
in the third
all-encompassing
level of
summary.
Boletaria Castle, and none of this was in the original game. And after a solid week of theorizing, testing, and
Makes you
searching,
some cold.
we finally found the key to the door. If it wasn't for this online culture that games have now, I don't think this would have ever been put in the game. And, you know, if it wasn't for the cult following this game has, I don't think anyone would have ever found it. I'll reveal what's behind the door towards the end of this video. It's fitting to delay your gratification a little bit for the sake of this story. On the 14th of November, just a few days after the release of Demon Souls, a user posted a video to Reddit. Does anyone know how to open this door in 1-3? It's new. People went wild. What if this door leads us to the 6th Archstone DLC? Wait, maybe it connects to the closed door in Bloodborne? No.
Maybe it goes directly to the developer's
It's clearly
headquarters.
hiding Elden Ring's gameplay trailer. At this stage, there were just infinite possibilities, until it was discovered that you could use photo mode in an adjacent laneway to peek over the balcony, revealing an item. And luckily, one of the 5 people who owned a PlayStation 5 was Distortion 2,
Exit Prime,
one
sad
of my
boys.
favorite speedrunners, and a big fat cheater. There's a glitch that exists where you can walk up into walls as they load into the game, and he abused this to navigate a path towards the item. But Bluepoint were one step ahead. They had anticipated players glitching through the map to get there, and they placed this invisible box around the area as
That
this
I didn't
extra
know.
layer
That's
of
pretty fucking
protection
cool.
for something like this. Distortion, if you're listening,
brain.
you cheated not only the game, but yourself. With Bluepoint taunting us, the search continued. They'd put things like this in their remakes before. In Shadow of the
Lasers of mystery
Colossus,
poop
there was a
and
secret
gifts
door
of
that required
iridescence.
79 coins to open, and something myself and many others came up with was to try and farm 79 gold coins from the fat officials to see if that did anything. Some poor soul on Reddit actually tried this, to no avail. And theories kept flying. What if it has something to do with the weird goat faces hidden in the credit screens? Actually, why is there a small chest here that's illuminated so curiously?
Was the goat
What if it
important?
has to do with all of those weird audio glitches that some players have reported? Do the items on the steps in front of the door matter? Are they a clue? Is that a face in the bag? Can the solution only be seen with a certain filter on? What about fraction mode? What about fraction mode? Finally, a player named Maledictus Nix, playing in fraction mode, which flips the game horizontally, in pure white world tendency, found a new item, in the same stage as the locked door. It was hidden up a ladder, in a featureless dead end, under a box. A ceramic coin.
That's
made of
big.
red clay.
The holy
Extremely
medallions.
Brittle and fragile, the glimmer has faded, much like its value.
Sleep well,
It's
the man.
also a consumable item that recovers a tiny amount of HP. So, coins were back on the menu, but don't consume them for the health bonus, for the love of God.
Yeah, I guess
Instead,
maybe chlamydia.
Find more coins. People quickly speculated that these would only be discoverable in fraction mode and in pure white tendencies, hidden within breakable rubble, and they were right. We had an actual goal now, and filled with new determination, players began discovering coins left and right. 4 more were found in pure white world tendency, in 1-3, in a featureless room off to the side of a courtyard, in 2-2, on an island
I bet
down
Blue
the Lava
Point
River,
imagined it'd take
past
months
the
to
hidden
get
ball
this.
in one of those small locked cells under a chair, in 4-1, within the grave robber's cell, and then 5 more in pure black world tendencies, so in 1-2, up the stairs before the Tower Knight, under a table, by the winch.
It only took a week.
In 2-1,
It took like 2
past
weeks.
the 3 dogs that are at the bottom of this ramp, tucked away in this dead-end
Once it was
lane
found, it only
within
took like
some
2
boxes.
weeks.
In 3-1, on the right, as you approach the
I remember when this
Fool's
was
Island,
happening
back
live.
and before a fence. In 4-2, hidden within the pit that Patches kicks you down. And finally, in 5-2, before you fight the Dirty Colossus, up a ramp, in a room, in a box. How many more coins could there even be? Desperate now, some players tried duping the coins by
Oh,
trading them
cheaters.
to other players and then rolling back their
Pathetic.
saves so that they would still have their coins. But Bluepoint had thought of that too. When picked up by other players, they become broken coins. They are ceramic after all, and they're very fragile, so when you drop them, they break. It's such a good thing that Bluepoint put so much effort into making sure that players can't cheat. Back at it then. Scoured every inch of that goddamn swamp until...
That must have been so
finally,
fucking
it
frustrating.
was found by none other than Shrek himself. But it was a lie. Notorious Dark Souls deviant, Metal Fruit, had found a coin elsewhere and then dropped it and picked it up
Oh,
again
you son
in
of
the
a
middle the
bitch.
swamp, just
Was
to
he arrested
throw
for this?
players off the scent. Many were not fooled by him and his accomplice, but for the truly desperate, precious time was wasted. Enthusiasm waning, the search continued, until hours later, the 11th coin was found. But it wasn't found in the swamp. No, instead it was found in the first level of Boletaria Castle, in that room from which 2 soldiers burst after you rescue Estrava. This was the 3rd coin found in Boletaria.
I feel like you could have
so
found this by
shattered
accident.
The theory that each world wins, then you farm
I
stones
actually
with
don't even
ephemeral
think
eyes,
it took a
you
full
die in
week
human form in each
once
world
they
until
found
you
the
get them
door.
to Black World tendency, you get all the black tendency coins,
If
and
I
you go
remember
into New Game
correctly.
Plus, and you do it again. You kill all the bosses, you kill yourself in the Nexus each time, you get permanently stuck in a wall on the way to Old Monk, you go to... Wait, what? I can't warp out of here. I can use items, but I can't use the warp item. And, yep,
This
I'm
is
being
part of the
invaded
puzzle.
by players who are becoming the Old Monk, so I can't even get someone to kill me here. And the cutscene is unskippable too. Oh, I started to take some photos of my character looting the item. You know, I wanted to make sure I could get a good thumbnail for this video. Looks good, right? That's a great shot.
It does look pretty fucking good.
Anyway, here I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna log out, and I want to keep the item there because I'm gonna come back later and take some more photos. You know, I'm not 100% convinced that I have a good thumbnail.
This is
for
a
it yet.
YouTuber right
So I log
here.
out, but I should probably check if it's still there. And it's gone. I'm probably the only fucking person who could come up with a reason to log out right in front of the item. But yeah, it's the rarest item in the game because the percentage of players who will actually go through the difficulty of 3 new game cycles just to get this thing is going to be very low. And what's unlikely is that the key would actually make it through to New Game Plus, because no other keys in Demon's Souls actually act this way. And, you know, I would have to kill every boss again, so is it even worth it?
Oh yeah, but with the luck build, you can just speed run.
Oh my god, the key is still there. So I quickly go through the game to get to the door. I kill an archdemon, I fight my way to the Tower Knight Fog, I get to the door, I unlock it, I walk inside, and...
These are Prime AJ.
Penetrator's armor set.
Let's go!
For surpassing impossible odds. The intricate design of this helmet was uniquely crafted for the Penetrator, one of the Boletarian heroes. Excellent for fending against piercing attacks, which, man, that extra defense is so useful in New Game Plus 3, let me tell you. Jokes aside, this is a good reward. Penetrator has a very signature armor set, and
I love when games do shit like this. It's always so good.
It's meaningful, and I also just love that Bluepoint incentivized breaking the rubble in Souls games for once. As a Zelda fan, that's something I always thought these games could do more of. So, Bluepoint, well played. Umbasa. But
thanks, Bluepoint.
It's actually possible that we haven't found.
And fuck you, Sony. Make more PlayStation 5s.
People kind of stop searching. Listen, if you can find a PlayStation 5 in the real world, how hard could it be to find these last 2 coins, right? So if you have a PlayStation 5, get out there and try to claim one in your name.
This is also like
might be more.
The only
but congratulations
main
to everyone with a PS5
system seller.
Hunt, and congratulations
to
a
PS5, you should probably get this.
Honestly, because a lot of you guys contributed your theories and your ideas. I wanted to make this video to mark an interesting point in Souls history, and I wanted to help everyone who didn't know about this feel a little bit of what it was like at the time. So, thank you for watching. And thank you to Audible, honestly, who kept me sane with the sponsorship while I spent 12 hours hunting for coins.
Yeah, I remember when that was happening live. I was still playing the game. Thanks to the Prime Doggo. Demon's Souls remake was super good. Is there speedruns for it now? Like, really good ones? Yeah, I remember the roots were still being experimented with back then and I never checked. Nah, it looks like it's just still about an hour.